What's up, Fight fans? I'm Ben Bartels. Welcome to the 29th episode of Cage Talk, your one-stop shop to get all your UFC and fight news updates you're going to need weekly. This episode, we're switching it up a little bit because we talked about the UFC fight card this weekend last week. So I'm joined with special guest Riley Aldenderfer.
Yo, yo, yo.
And we're going to be switching it up a little bit. We're going to be talking about the future UFC or the next UFC champions of every weight class. So stay tuned. Future UFC champions of every weight class, meaning the next champion. So maybe not like, this doesn't have to mean the best fighter or like the dark horse, but the next fighter to hold a belt other than the current champion right now, by any means necessary. So we're going to go weight class by weight class, and I guess we'll start off at flyweight. For me, at flyweight, I have Tatsuro Taira.
What?
Who do you have for winning flyweight?
The better one, Manel Kape.
Manel Kape's ranked lower than Tatsuro Taira.
But like, Tatsuro Taira, like,
he's coming off a worse performance. He eye poke comboed Azu Almabayev to a TKO stoppage. Tatsuro Taira knocked out that one guy in the Apex in the first round.
But Tatsuro Taira lost to, what's his name?
Brandon Royval.
Yeah.
That's true. But Tatsuro Taira also, that was a 48-47 decision. And Brandon Royval got dominated on the ground in, I think, like 2 of the rounds. He got controlled for like 5 minutes in 2 of the rounds. He got dominated on the feet. If he can learn how to throw a punch, which I mean he looked like he did last fight. If he can learn how to strike properly, I think he could definitely become champion. I don't think he beats Pantoja. I think Pantoja's better everywhere. I think Tatsuro Taira is like a slightly more patient, slightly worse version of Pantoja. But I think if Pantoja retires, which I think he will in like a year or so's time, because he's getting up there in age for like flyweight. He's like 36 or something. For flyweight, you lose speed, that's a lot. I would say Tatsuro Taira, maybe he's not the next to get a title shot, but I will say he's next to win the belt. He'd be a good champion. So what do you think about Manel?
Manel just needs to fight more. Like, he styled on Bruno Silva. Joshua Van also styled on him. And now, Joshua Van has a title shot.
That's true.
He styled on Azu Almabayev. The last 2 people he's fought, he styled on them. That wasn't even a close fight. He just outstruck him. His takedown defense has improved.
That is really true, yeah.
But speaking about takedown defense, if Muhammad Mokaev was still in the UFC, he'd be next up.
He'd be next up, but
I think he would have gotten the title.
yeah, I don't know if he would have gotten the title.
Or
I mean,
he would be next.
I would say Manel Kape, like every fight he's in is like pretty fun, right? Pretty dominant for him, assuming he wins. But like, he's not always the most consistent fighter. You know what I mean? Like when he's fighting Bruno Silva and he's lighting off combinations and he's taunting, he looks like insane. But when he's fighting Mokaev and he barely throws a single strike, like he doesn't look like the world beater that we're used to. So I don't know.
Wasn't that 29-28 still?
The Mokaev.
Yeah.
It was close, but that was just because Manel Kape didn't throw enough. I feel like if Manel Kape threw more, that would have been a more fun fight. That was like one of the worst fights of the year. And also, he probably would have won.
I just think if Manel Kape fights more and stays on his hot streak, he has a chance.
I think Manel Kape definitely has the skills to do it. I just don't know if he's going to be active enough to do it. But I think if he fights for the belt, I think he definitely, depending on who it is, like if he fights Joshua Van, I think he definitely has a good chance of kickboxing Joshua Van. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to bantamweight, I'm going with Umar Nurmagomedov, but with a caveat. I think Umar Nurmagomedov is the only fighter that could maybe beat Merab, but I think if Peter Yan and Umar fought, I think Peter wins. So I think Merab beats Umar, Peter also beats Umar, but I think Umar's going to be next to get a title shot.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Umar Nurmagomedov is next up. But I don't think Merab is losing anytime soon.
No.
How he's fighting, I don't think anyone can beat him. Like, for example, Corey Sandhagen, I don't think he stands a chance.
He doesn't stand a chance.
He should be like a plus like 700.
I think so, yeah. I mean, Merab's style is so dominant, he barely takes damage. My only issue is like, he's starting to get up there in age, and his style is so reliant on cardio and strength, and I feel like that's going to die off after a little bit, And I think Father Time might beat him, but I think he retires before that happens. I think Merab fools a lot of people. I think he is a smart fighter, and I think he's going to retire maybe in 2 fights or something like that.
Like, it's crazy, like, other than Ricky Simone, the closest fighter to beat him, other than Umar, again, was it
Sean O'Malley?
No. Marias.
Moraes?
Yeah, remember he like almost knocked him out.
Oh, yeah. Moraes rocked him really bad and dropped him.
Like dropped him like
true.
3 times. Like
yeah,
it
Henry
was
Cejudo rocked him too for a little bit. But yeah, no, I mean, you just see like the progression of Merab. Like he got rocked by Moraes and then got rocked by Henry, but then he like dominated Sean O'Malley in their rematch. He, out-dogged Umar. He, beat Sean O'Malley by a not so controversial decision in the sphere. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He's getting better and better as time goes on. But I guess it's just a matter of time before Father Time catches up. Moving on to featherweight, 145 pounds. I'm gonna go with Lerone Murphy. Who you got?
I got my man Diego Lopez.
That's a good pick. Diego Lopez has like crazy momentum right now. Did you see he was gonna try and fight Charles Oliveira on the UFC?
Oh yeah, I
record?
saw that.
Yeah. Charles Oliveira pulled up the Rio card, and Diego Lopez is going to pull up 10 pounds and, probably beat Charles Oliveira. I think he'd actually win that fight. But, no, I think Diego Lopez definitely has, like, the skills to be a champion. He just knocked out Jean Silva. But I think Lerone Murphy's probably going to be getting the next title shot. And in all honesty, I mean, I said this last time out. I did pick Alexander Volkanovski against Lopez, but I do think Alexander Volkanovski's age and inactivity is going to start to catch up to him, and I think Lerone Murphy might, like, low-key Leon Edwards, Alexander Volkanovski, maybe, like, flash knock him out or out-kickbox him to a decision. I think he's just too skillful enough. And doesn't have a lot of miles in the tank like Alexander does.
I feel like it just depends how Volkanovski fights.
That's true. Yeah, if Alexander shows up, like, worn and, like, withered, like, his age is catching up to him, I think anyone beats him at that point. Maybe not anyone, but, like, I think most of the top 5 will. I
think Volkanovski will pull it off one more time. And then Diego Lopez will get the next shot. And then Diego Lopez I feel like he's improved since that Volk fight. And Volk going to go up in age. Lopez, how old's Lopez? Like
he's young. He's I think he's low 30s or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So he's basically in his prime at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think Lopez. I don't think a win over Jean Silva gets you a title shot. I think if he gets one more good win, and I'm really hoping they do the Mozart Evloev rematch. And I really think Diego Lopez is going to knock out Evloev.
I think Lopez. If Lopez on like how short notice was that? That was like
the first fight. It was like a week.
Yeah.
Even.
And what?
Because he was supposed to fight Bryce Mitchell.
Close decision.
Yeah.
Evloev was talking about I beat Lopez barely.
Yeah, barely. Like that. I don't know. And Evloev's so inactive. Like it's going to catch up to him.
Yeah.
Moving on to 155 pounds lightweight. I'm going to go with Paddy Pimblett. Who you got?
I went with Paddy Pimblett as well.
Yeah. I know it's kind of a controversial take. I know a lot of people will say like Arman Tsarukyan. Who just got Gamrot, has definitely a chance if he beats Charles Oliveira. But I kind of feel like Paddy Pimblett's just on such a roll right now, and I think the UFC more often than not gets what they want. You know what I mean? Like Sean O'Malley knocked out Aljamain Sterling, McGregor knocked out Aldo. I think Paddy Pimblett has all this. I think he's definitely very skillful. I don't think he's nearly as skillful as Topuria, but I just don't see Topuria being active enough and being consistent enough at 155 to, stay at that weight class and hold on to the belt for a long time. And I think if Topuria vacates, which I honestly like knowing his story, and if he retires soon, which I think he wants to, he wants to retire young, I think Paddy Pimblett's going to fight for like a vacant belt against like Arman Tsarukyan maybe. And I think Paddy Pimblett, in all honesty, like he's been pretty active. He, is pretty well-rounded. I think he has, I wouldn't say I would favor him, but I think storyline-wise, you know what I mean? UFC isn't scripted, even though I like to joke it is. But I would say Paddy Pimblett, just storyline-wise, just momentum.
I feel like there's one thing, love for the game. Like
That's true.
I don't think Arman Tsarukyan has the love for the game like Paddy Pimblett does.
Yeah, Paddy Pimblett, I could definitely like he actually doesn't eat that much out of camp anymore. Like, have you seen him recently? He stays pretty in shape out of camp nowadays. But, like, Arman Tsarukyan, he's doing, like, grappling matches with Benson Henderson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just hasn't fought since, like, UFC 300. We're almost at UFC, like, 320-something.
320.
320, yeah. We're almost at UFC 320, and he hasn't fought since UFC 300. Like, I think Arman Tsarukyan's prime is passing him up right now on some Colby Covington type stuff. And, I think it's going to catch up to him.
Yeah.
Moving on to welterweight, I'm going to go with Sean Brady.
I forgot who I went with. Oh, yes. I went with Islam Makhachev. I just feel like it's this Islam Makhachev, man. Like, you always want to bet against him, and then he just wins dominantly.
So you think he beats JDM?
I think he beats JDM.
I don't know. That fight is so intriguing. That's definitely fight of the year for me. But I think JDM has the potential to outbox Islam Makhachev, and his takedown defense did look really good against Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah, it did.
I just think, assuming JDM beats Islam Makhachev, which I'm picking him to do, I don't think anyone, and I know he doesn't even have a title defense yet, so I think it's kind of crazy to say, but I don't think anyone you can reliably pick to beat JDM except maybe Sean Brady. And even then, if JDM, loses the belt somehow for whatever reason, I think Sean Brady is like the next guy up to who would be able to take it. You know what I mean?
I'm always scared to say, oh, this guy's going to be a champ for a while in the welterweight division, especially because we said that for Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah,
lost the first one.
Exactly. Yeah, there's so many prospects. There's JDM, Sean Brady, Ian Gary, Michael Morales.
Don't forget about
Shavkat Rakhmonov. Like the list goes on, and Jeff Neal's always there. There's always people just in the wings. Like welterweight's a real nightmare weight class right now.
I believe I have some love for welterweight. What did I say? Oh yeah, I feel like Kamaru Usman's back. Like I feel like he's just experience alone. Yeah. Kamaru Usman could just beat.
That is true.
And Islam Makhachev.
He is coming off a very good win.
I would love to see that fight, Islam Makhachev, Kamaru Usman.
That would be a great wrestling scrap. That's a dream fight right there. Moving on to middleweight, who do you got?
I have Nasruddin Imavov.
I'm going with Ranier de Ridder. I mean, I think Nasruddin Imavov, I think he's on one of the most underrated win streaks in the game right now. Like Israel Adesanya, Barallo, Jared Cannonier, Brendan Allen, Roman Dolidze, these are all top 10 wins. Some of them is Adesanya, Cannonier at the time, top 5. You know what I mean? These are really solid wins to have in a 5-5 win streak.
And I know Adesanya is not as good as he used to be, but no one's ever knocked out Adesanya like that.
That's true.
Even Pereira, he didn't knock him out. He was on his feet when the fight was called off. No one's ever knocked out Adesanya.
Yeah, and then Nasruddin Imavov bombed that right hand and got him clean.
Yeah.
I think Nasruddin Imavov is getting the next title shot against Khamzat Chimaev. I just can't reliably pick Imavov to beat Khamzat Chimaev. I know his defense is really good. I know he has crazy fast hand speed, but I do think he would lose that fight. And I think RDR, after Imavov fights him, would fight Khamzat. And I think with Anthony Hernandez out, I think RDR has the best chance of beating someone like Khamzat. His pressure, his size, his goofiness. Yeah. I think he has all the skills in the world to out-puzzle Khamzat Chimaev.
I don't think Khamzat's going to lose anytime soon, though.
Oh, no, I don't think Khamzat's going to lose, but I think if someone else had to have the belt, it would be RDR.
Yeah.
Personally. But I definitely see the Nasruddin Imavov pick. Moving on to light heavyweight, I'm taking Yuri Prochazka.
It's kind of obvious. I think Alex Pereira will win this freeze match in a couple weeks.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, it's such a close fight. I feel Magomed Ankalaev is going to really spoil the party and beat Alex Pereira. But I do think Yuri Prochazka, if he beats Khalil Rountree, which I'm going to pick him to do, I think he has all the skills in the world to beat Magomed Ankalaev. I think his pressure, his style, the head movement, just the wacky samurai fighting style. I think it's going to be a kryptonite to Magomed Ankalaev, assuming if they ever fought. And I think he has really good takedown defense too. His wide stance and everything, he's really springy.
I did have a parentheses in there for Rountree. If Rountree can't beat Yuri Prochazka, I think he has a chance.
Oh yeah, no, he's so fast.
It's just so fast, underrated striking. It's he has strikes that no one else does. Who else in the UFC will just body kick someone to a KO?
That is true. Khalil Rountree will standing hammer fist you.
Yeah. He will just do anything.
Yeah.
Knock you out.
Yeah, exactly. Light heavyweight's always been one of those divisions. You never really know. There's always someone in the wings. You know what I mean? That Yuri Prochazka Khalil Rountree fight's really going to show a lot for the future of the light heavyweight division. Moving on to heavyweight, finally, I'm going to go with Jailton Almeida. Who you going with?
I want the same guy, but in parentheses, don't sleep on Walter Walker.
That's true, actually. That's a really good prospect to keep an eye out on.
Because, one, he's not even 30 yet. I checked this earlier. He's under the age of 30. He's on a really good heel hook streak right now, where he's just subbing everyone due to a heel hook. He's going to be ranked. He's going to fight a ranked fighter soon. I feel with how bad the heavyweight division is, he has a chance.
I think Jailton Almeida is just higher up in the rankings enough, and I think if he gets a title shot next, I think he loses to Aspinall. But I think if Aspinall wasn't champion, I think Jailton Almeida has all the skills in the world to beat him.
But we don't know how Aspinall looks. He hasn't fought since, 3 or 3?
That's true, yeah.
He hasn't fought in a good minute, so we don't know if he looks good right now.
And that is all we have for you guys. Be sure to check out other episodes on FHNtoday.com and FHNtoday on Spotify. Drop a comment below on who you think, guys, is up next for the belt. Once again, I'm Ben Bartels, signing off.
I'm Riley.